October 1972, Heist season. As one of the most influential artists in the hip-hop scene, rapper Eminem was born in October 1972. If you've watched the movie 8 Mile, which is seen as a watered-down version of Eminem's life in Detroit, you see that a lot of recognition for your rapping skills in those early days was garnered by competing in rap battles. It's strange how the word battle can be used in different contexts. On the one hand, rappers battle it out for their love of the music, while across the pond in Northern Ireland we had battles not driven by love, but rather hatred for the opposing side of the conflict. Political developments in October 1972. There were some quite interesting political developments in October 1972. It all began with Irish Prime Minister Jack Lynch's government closing the Sinn Féin office in Dublin. That was before a trial for an armed robbery took a strange turn. On the 12th, there was an armed robbery at the Allied Irish Bank on Grafton Street, Dublin. The thieves stole £67,000, which at the time was the largest such theft in Ireland. On the 19th of July 1973, two brothers, Kenneth and Keith Littlejohn, were convicted of the robbery. At their trial, the men had claimed that they were working for the British Secret Intelligence Service MI6. The robbery and subsequent events became known as the Little John Affair. We'll cover this in more detail once we get to July 1973. Stay tuned. As if the Little John Affair wasn't enough of a curveball for October, we also saw a more ambitious approach from paramilitaries, who decided that robbing UDR and RUC stations would be a good idea. On the 14th, Loyalist paramilitaries carried out a raid on the headquarters of the Ulster Defence Regiment at Lisleagh Drive in Belfast and stole 14 British Army-issue self-loading rifles and a quantity of ammunition. The camp guard claimed that they were overpowered by the Loyalists. If you remember the Ulster Vanguard that I talked about back in February 1972, well, they were back in the headlines in October with a shocking declaration from their leader, William Craig. He spoke at a meeting of right-wing members of Parliament at Westminster on the 19th. He said that he could mobilise 80,000 men to oppose the British government, stating, "We are prepared to come out and shoot and kill. I am prepared to come out and shoot and kill. I am prepared to kill, and those behind me will have my full support." Loyalists carried out another raid on the 23rd on an Ulster Defence Regiment Territorial Army base, Kings Park Camp, in Lurgan, County Armagh, and stole 85 British Army-issue self-loading rifles and 21 Sterling submachine guns. As with the first raid, the camp guard claimed that they were overpowered by the Loyalists. Within a few hours of the raid, 63 SLRs and 8 SMGs were recovered close to an abandoned Land Rover vehicle. As if 2 raids weren't quite enough, they struck again on the 30th, raiding a Royal Ulster Constabulary station in Claudy, County Derry, and stole 4 British Army-issue Sterling submachine guns that had been issued to Ulster Defence Regiment soldiers. An interesting development in these raids was that on the 21st of July 1973, one of the Sterling SMGs, stolen on the 30th, was recovered in the possession of Loyalist paramilitaries in Belfast. A confidential report later indicated that this weapon alone had been used in at least 12 Loyalist attacks, which resulted in 1 civilian killing and 7 attempted killings. Shootings and stabbings in October 1972. As was now the norm in Northern Ireland in 1972, we had a series of shootings and stabbings, as well as people dying by being run over. October 2nd. Undercover British soldier Edward Stewart, 20, was shot dead by the IRA while driving a laundry van in Juniper Park, Twinbrook, Belfast. The IRA kidnapped 3 alleged informers, Edward Bonner, 50, Kevin McKee, 17, and Seamus Wright, 25, who were later killed and buried. Bonner was shot while inside Grosvenor Homing Pigeons Club, Ivy Street, Belfast. Wright was abducted from his home, Bombay Street, Belfast. His remains were eventually found on general information supplied by the IRA, buried in farmland, formerly Bogland Cogglestown, near Navan, County Meath, on the 25th of June 2015. McKee was abducted somewhere in Belfast. His remains were eventually found on general information supplied by the IRA buried in farmland, formerly bogland, Cogglestown, near Navan, County Meath, also on the 25th of June 2015. October 4th. The UDA shot dead James McCartan, 21, a Catholic civilian. His body was found on waste ground beside Conswater River, off Mersey Street, Belfast. October 6th. IRA volunteer Daniel McAreevy, 21, was killed during an IRA attack on a British Army base, Osmond Street, Lower Falls, Belfast. October 10th. Off-duty UDR soldier John Ruddy, 50, was shot dead by the IRA outside his home in Dromelane Park, Newry, County Down. October 13th. Off-duty RUC officer Robert Nichol, 22, was shot dead by the British Army while driving his car along Castle Street in Belfast. October 14th. Catholic man Terence Maguire, 23, was found shot dead in an alley off Clandeboy Street, Belfast. It is believed the UDA was responsible. 2 Catholic civilians, Leo John Duffy, 45, and Thomas Marin, 59, were killed in a gun attack on a Catholic-owned shop, Northern Wine Company, Tates Avenue, off Lisbon Road, Belfast. It is believed the UDA was responsible. October 16th. 15-year-old Protestant youth member of the Ulster Defence Association, William Warnock, and 26-year-old UDA member John Clark were killed when run over by British Army vehicles during riots in East Belfast. The UDA said that following the incidents, the British Army and British government are now our enemies. 2 members of the official IRA were shot dead by the British Army. Patrick Mullen, 34, and Hugh Heron, 38, were shot while travelling in a car at a British Army vehicle checkpoint outside St Patrick's Hall, Cogue, County Tyrone. October 17th. In response to the deaths of the previous day, the UDA opened fire on the British Army in some parts of Belfast, shooting an RUC officer, Gordon Harron, 32, on the Shore Road by Mount Vernon, Belfast. Harron died of his injuries on the 21st of October. A UDA volunteer was later convicted of the killing. The British Army shot dead a UDA volunteer who was also an off-duty UDR soldier, John Todd, 23, during street disturbances on Wilton Street, Shankill, Belfast. October 18th. British soldier Anthony David, 27, died 4 weeks after being shot by an IRA sniper while on mobile patrol, Falls Road, Belfast. October 22nd. Off-duty UDR soldier John Bell, 21, was shot dead by the IRA on his farm, Derry Doon, near Newtown Butler, County Fermanagh. October 24th. 2 Catholic men were found dead at a farm at Oginahinch, near Newtown Butler, County Fermanagh. They had been killed the previous evening. The incident was referred to as the Pitchfork Killings and was initially thought to have been carried out by loyalists. However, it was later discovered that a patrol of British soldiers had carried out the killings, and the actual weapon was believed to be a knife. In 1981, 2 serving British soldiers who had been members of the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders were jailed for the killings. A 3rd defendant, a former soldier, was jailed for manslaughter. A 4th defendant, a captain, was given a 1-year suspended sentence for withholding information about the killings. British soldier Robert Mason, 19, was shot by an IRA sniper while on British Army foot patrol, Naples Street, off Grosvenor Road, Belfast. October 28th. British soldier Thomas Mackay, 29, was shot dead by an IRA sniper while on foot patrol on Bishop Street, Derry. October 29th. The UVF killed a Catholic civilian, Michael Turner, 16, in a drive-by shooting on the Cliftonville Road, Belfast. October 31st. British soldier Richard Sinclair, 19, was shot dead by an IRA sniper while on foot patrol, Antrim Road, New Lodge, Belfast. The Red Hand Commandos shot dead a Catholic civilian, James Kerr, 17, at his garage workplace on the Lisbon Road, Belfast. Bombings in October 1972. 20 shooting incidents in the same month in any part of the world during a conflict would be insane. But that's not where the violence stopped. There were also 11 bombings in October, causing even more deaths and devastation. October 4th. A Catholic civilian, Patrick Connolly, 23, was killed when the UVF threw a grenade into his home on Derrimore Drive, Portadown. His mother and brother were wounded. The grenade was of a type made in the United Kingdom for use by the British Armed Forces, and the attack has been linked to the Glenanne gang. October 5th. The UDA detonated a bomb at the Capitol Bar in Belfast, killing a Protestant civilian, John Magee, 54. October 7th. The UVF exploded a car bomb at the Long Bar on Leeson Street, Belfast, which killed a Catholic civilian, Olive McConnell, 23. October 10th. 3 IRA volunteers, John Donaghy, 19, Patrick Maguire, 24, and Joseph McKinney, 17, died when a bomb they were assembling exploded in a house on Balkan Street, Lower Falls, Belfast. October 13th. The UVF firebombed several public houses, including the Ballyhackamore Inn, the Balmoral Inn, and the Rosetta Bar. October 16th. The UDA claimed responsibility for a bomb attack on a fertilizer factory at Carrigan's in County Donegal. A UDA spokesman stated it was not the first attack carried out by the group in the Republic of Ireland. The spokesman declined to say whether the UDA was responsible for a bomb attack on the Buncrana police station the previous week. A car bomb exploded in Clones, County Monaghan, seriously injuring one man and causing significant damage. The device detonated within minutes of a UDA bomb in Carrigan's, County Donegal, and the group was believed to be responsible. October 22nd. 2 barges were bombed and sunk by the IRA at Lough Neagh with a loss of £80,000. October 24th. 2 British soldiers, Robert Mason, 19, and John Morrell, 32, were killed in separate IRA sniper and bomb attacks in Belfast and Armagh. October 28th to 29th. A 12-pound bomb was planted in Connolly Station, Amiens Street, by Loyalists, but defused by the Irish Army before it went off. They were also responsible for leaving firebombs in bedrooms in 4 Dublin hotels: Winds, the Gresham, the Skylon, and the Crofton. October 31st. The UDA detonated a car bomb outside Benny's Bar in Sailortown, Belfast. The blast killed 2 Catholic children, Paula Strong, 6, and Claire Hughes, 4, who were celebrating Halloween outside the pub. 12 other people were injured. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tales of the Troubles. If you enjoyed this episode or any others, please like or comment to help the algorithm reach other like-minded people. To ensure you never miss an episode, please click the follow button and enable notifications. If you have family or friends who would also like this podcast, please share. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we take a closer look at November 1972.